Alright guys, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the showdown between the Chaos Dwarfs and Beastmen. It's going to be Hadres with the Sorcerer Prophet facing off against Subutai, who's going to be coming in with the Great Bray Shaman and his new toy. Yes, it is going to be the Elemental Incarnate. Super awesome that Beastmen got access to this monster. They also got Zangors, and looking forward to seeing the Beastmen get Pestigors and Korngors and Slongors when they inevitably come. Now, Chaos Dwarves have gotten hit with a bit of a nerf hammer this patch, and it's not really like a nerf to any units in particular, but Goblin Laborers and Orc Laborers had bugged capture weight the entire last patch, and it just kind of was like a thing that just whatever, you know, it's hard to like not let them use those units and actually have them as a faction, so it just kind of flew by. But now these bad boys have regular capture weight, so Chaos Dwarves aren't going to be able to kind of do what they did before, which was using Orc Laborers and Goblin Laborers as their hard capture weight. Really changes the way they play. So Sorcerer Prophet of Fire is good against Beastmen. Beastmen hate Burning Head. It's pretty good against most of their infantry. Granted, the Beastmen do have access to Zangors, which are armored frontliners that don't care about Burning Head. So that's kind of a cool tech. However, looks like Hadres was banking on the Zangors and has an entire elite front line, guys. Entire elite front line of Infernal Guard with great weapons. So it's going to be 4 of those. 5 of those? No, Chaos Dwarf Warriors back there. So yeah, Infernal Guard with great weapons into the sunset. So we got 1 unit here. This green color scheme is really cool, by the way. Another one there, and a couple Goblin Laborers as well. Looking at Subutai's build, it's going to be the Great Bray Shaman of the Wild with Traderkin and with the Ungor Spears lying in ambush. If you guys have never played against Subutai, he's one of my real-life friends. We hang out, play some Magic, you know, a lot of games together as well. He loves to just push all 3 points, like have a big alpha strike on your home point, just like trying to overwhelm you on... That's kind of his playstyle. He really likes to like press all 3 points, even if it costs a little bit of value, and then from there he tries to win on points very often. So, and it works well. It's a strong tactic. It can overwhelm players. Traderkin caster. Traderkin didn't get nerfed. It's an obscenely powerful spell, so obviously that's going to be very good. And talk about useful. The Incarnate of Elemental Beast here could be a very nice counter against a lot of the Chaos Dwarf stuff, unless they call in a Deathstreak rocket launcher and start shooting it. But this thing has a Mortis Engine effect for the infantry, armor piercing, and can probably fight the Sorcerer Prophet effectively. So it's a bit of a risky pick against Chaos Dwarves who do have the big battery. They have the Deathstreak, which is probably being called in. Oh, it's an Iron Demon, actually. Interesting. So Fireball going into the Elemental Incarnate. Very nice cast there. Does a little bit of damage. Butchers of Kalkengard, another big staple for the roster. Ungor Spear is going to be holding the back objective. And the battle for the fate of Borderlow Landing is here with these 2 factions that have received some changes in this patch. So it looks like the Sorcerer Prophet hunting down the Great Bray Shaman on his chariot, but, you know, the smart play for Subutai here is basically just to run to the edge of the map, right? Run over towards the corner, try and lure this big, more expensive centerpiece away from the fighting, and, you know, do your best. That's basically it. So Chaos Dwarf Infantry are approaching. It's going to be the Infernal Guard with great weapons and the Iron Demons, so apparently the Chaos Dwarf trains have been fixed. I haven't had a chance to test them, but as far as I can tell, they're not like buggy like they were before, where they can just like kill big things instantly. Sure, they can still hit them for 250 weapon strength, but they're not going to be like double and triple hitting. Wow, big Burning Head going down from Hadres, nasty. Just instant routes those Ungor Raiders. So that was a really nice cast, because it's hard to do those timing casts based on the movement of a unit, unless you have quite a bit of experience. So Sorcerer Prophet back here going to be getting hunted down by the Wild Hogs. So Razorgore is being called in, going to be chasing down the Sorcerer Prophet. Looks like he will be able to get back up in the sky, while the middle objective does go to the Chorfs. So the old Iron Demon is now out, and I'm going to be watching it shooting for sure. So Iron Demon shotgun shots. Hey, that's not bad. A little bit of spray fire hits the Bray Shaman to the Wild, and it's still, you know, an anti-infantry chariot piece. So that's some nice utility on that bad boy. We'll have to keep tabs on it. Back objective is being taken by Laborers and 1 Chaos Dwarf Warrior. That should be enough to fend off the Gore Herds and Ungors, considering they're armored. And now the frontline fighting is going to be underway as the Butchers of Kalkengard going balls deep in here. But oh, they got distracted by the train. It kind of broke their charge. Man, that just saved the Infernal Guard from taking a ton of damage. But the Elemental Incarnate is a pretty nasty piece right here. So that's going to be moving in, dropping the Atomic Pimp Slap here on the Iron Demon, as the call-in here from the Chaos Dwarves is going to be Oglacon's boys. Nice, you know, range damage. They have 21 missile strength and do imbue fire weakness. Granted, the Incarnate isn't naturally weak to fire, but even still, it's going to do some decent DACA. And I sense a Traderkin. So Traderkin goes down there, it slaps the Infernal Guard, it slaps the Iron Demon, and also tickles these Goblin Laborers here. But the frontline fighting is getting more and more heated as the Infernal Guard pouring into the Beastmen lines, and that's going to be a very stalwart line. You know, this is fun, right? Like getting to see Chaos Dwarfs like innovate based on what they like. Before it was just basically Laborers and Deathstreak rocket launchers in every game, but now we're seeing a super elite Chaos Dwarf battle line supported by like mobile shooting. The train is putting a little bit of supporting fire down. It's so much more fun than the previous patch already, man. So Sorcerer Prophet here going to be doing a breath attack. Nice dodge there by Subutai. I don't know if that was intentional, but the Gorbel was able to dodge that shot. Now the Duel of Fates. Gorbel, oh, the ping pong ball of Total War Warhammer. He gets knocked over, but not before he hits that Iron Demon relatively hard. And honestly, he didn't take too much damage. Vial of Hashut active, So Vial of Hatchet's going to be making him weak to fire. Ooh, nice fireball. With the fire weakness and the armor mitigation, that's a really, really nice combo. And Vial of Hatchet lasts like a minute, so he's going to be able to keep getting that. But you can see Gorbel is absolutely beating down this Iron Demon right now, not taking too much damage in the process. Looks like there's going to be a Traderkin coming in. That's a really nice cast. It hits the Sorcerer Prophet, hits the train, and Big Daddy Gorbel still doing his thing. Now back in the center fighting, it's mainly just Infernal Guard beating through chaff units. Although over here, we do see the big man of the hour, the Elemental Incarnate, just slapping through these elite Chaos Dwarf infantry, which is super, super cool. On the backfield, as far as these skirmishers go, Hobgoblin Wolf Riders poking in. We got a bit of a blob fight here. There are some Ungor Spears, and Gorbel and some Minotaurs trying their best to drag down ye old Chaos Dwarf Lord here. So the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire is just going fisticuffs here in battle, and now the Elemental Incarnate coming across with the slap on the Iron Demon. His anti-large attacks will be quite good, but Chaos Dwarfs have a little bit of shooting, and man, it is so weird seeing a Chaos Dwarf game that does not have the Deathstreak rocket launcher. It's like I feel like we're in the Twilight Zone, man. It's very, very weird. As far as the fighting goes, Infernal Guard grinding away here on the middle objective. Chaos Dwarf's actually able to anchor the objective. Just the stalwart, high leadership, elite infantry are just a lot. And it's funny, you would think they'd be too much of a risky pick against like Razor Gores and different things like that, but honestly, they seem to be working out relatively well, which is impressive. Now back to this fight here, an Elemental Incarnate currently sitting at about 800 value, so hasn't had a chance to really pay for itself. That ranged DACA on the Hobgoblin Wolf Riders really keeping consistent pressure on it, which is quite nice. Subutai going to be trying to shut that down with the Palace Butchers, yes. The Butchers of Kalkengard, they get in there and bash them a little bit. Now, objective assessment. Objective 3 owned by Chaos Dwarfs. It looks like Chaos Dwarf Warriors with Great Opens are soloing the 2 Beastmen infantry here. The train is going to be running for the hills, and honestly, Beastmen could put some back pressure on after they probably kill this Iron Demon using the Minotaurs as well as the Bray Shaman. They might be able to maneuver to Objective 3 and get a capture on that, because currently as it stands, the Chaos Dwarfs are holding this very, very well. They're certainly anchoring that one down. Back objective owned by the Beastmen, middle objective pretty firmly owned by the Chaos Dwarfs. And yeah, we haven't seen many of the usual suspects. There haven't been any Bull Centaur renders. We haven't seen any Deathstreak rockets, no magma cannons. It's a very innovative build from Hadri's. And honestly, you know, Subutai is a top tier player and one of the better Beastmen players in the entire game. And he's keeping that value even. So that's very, very cool to see. So Sorcerer Prophet clubbing away here at the Butchers of Kalkengard. They'll certainly take a lot of damage there. Hobo Goblins with bows continuing to push, but the Beastmen do have a nice second win. They have the Incarnate of Elemental Beast. The Razor Gore herds are going to start piling in and doing nasty pressure. And this is a really, really good play here by Subutai. Leaving the Minotaurs like kind of inconspicuously, they moved over through the trees and came to support. That's going to be some really nice damage against those Chaos Dwarf Warriors, and probably will inevitably give the objective to the Beastmen unless the Chaos Dwarfs decide to send something over there. And they need to get an objective pretty quickly. Granted, the Beastmen are also flipping the middle objective a little bit. Back pressure from Hadri's. Looks like Hobgoblin's trying to do some theft on the back point, because he does have some Infernal Guard with Great Opens over here. So they can move on to the point. These are expendable infantry, so they have 2 capture weight. The Infernal Guard themselves are going to be rocking 5, plus 4 and 4, so that's way more capture weight for the Chaos Dwarves if they want to steal the back objective. But Beastmen have fast units. Centaurs could get here pretty quickly, Razor Gores, some Vanguard infantry, but they need to do that quick. They really don't want to lose that objective. Now back in the pit fight, the Elemental Incarnate chasing down the Sorcerer Prophet with the support of the Bray Shaman. Bray Shaman better be careful not to overextend, though. He could get killed pretty quickly by the Sorcerer Prophet if he decides to turn around, fireball him, and charge him. It could be the end of the road. But now the Mortis Engine going down from the Elemental Incarnate. It does get slapped with a nice fireball, doing like 700 damage, but it's up to 1300 value. Certainly has a little bit more life to give. Nice charge from the Sorcerer Prophet right in the back. It looks like the attack might have missed there, and now the Elemental Incarnate's going to get to potentially return the favor. We'll see. Nope, looks like it was stomping some of the infantry on the ground, and that bad boy is going to be broken. Really, really nice micro there to take him down from ye old Hadri's. Now on the objective, Infernal Guard grinding away. The Bray Herd is still pushing on. Zangor's coming in, so the Beastmen using some of their new toys here. Zangor's, of course, an excellent choice. They will lose to a lot of like Chorf, like armor-piercing infantry, but they're fast. They get to objectives quickly, and they can really turn the tide of things. As far as the back objective goes, Beastmen look to be holding on to that one as the Infernal Guard keep clearing. Razor Gore herds on the way up, and man, oh man, this could be a little bit dicey as the Great Bray Shaman of the Wilds is on the run from the Sorcerer Prophet. Sorcerer Prophets are still going to be your hard carry for Chaos Dwarves. They're just so much better than Draz Oath and the other choices, which is really disappointing, but yeah, there's no... If you're playing Chaos Dwarves and you do something other than the Sorcerer Prophet, you're just kind of, you know, setting yourself back. You could go with maybe, like, you know, Foghorn Leghorn, he could get the job done, but overall, a little bit scary. Now, back objective was actually stolen by the Bray Herd, so they were able to get it with that Minotaur push, like I was telling you guys. The Spears and Gores will probably just sit on that, and Chaos Dwarfs aren't the best at reclaiming lost objectives. The middle is also owned by the Beastmen. As far as the value goes, it's pretty damn even. 11k for Subutai here. Hadri's at about 10.6, but Hadri's is approaching healing cap on his Sorcerer Prophet, so the value is actually probably pretty damn close in this situation. But the Bray Shaman going down is definitely not good for the Beastmen. They're not a high leadership faction, so that's a little bit scary. But the Minotaur second win coming in from the side objective, just cleaving through these Angors, is a really, really nice boon here for the forces of the Beastmen. There's like Beasts and Zangors and just all sorts of shit running around the map. It's getting a little bit confusing with all these DLCs and whatnot. But Hobo Goblins pressing the back objective. Hadri's has firm control over that with the Hobo Goblins and the Infernal Guard hanging out there. It's not going to be easy for the Beastmen to get that one back. Uh-oh. Hadri's could be in a little bit of danger here. Subutai is able to get the Minotaurs on top of the Sorcerer Prophet. Looks like the pressure is moving in, and he's going for the kill here. He's going the distance, man, as that Sorcerer Prophet does pull back and is able to escape. It looks like he was wavering, but doesn't end up breaking. Beastmen are going to be calling in more Minotaurs with great weapons, and it looks like there's a very sneaky Beastmen Vanguard heading over towards objective number 1. Only 600 gold, maybe like 650 with these Ungor Spears, so that's going to be a nice little grab to go get that objective back. This is turning into a real knockdown, drag-out game here, guys. It's going to be an absolute Beastmen barn burner, to say the least. Sorcerer Prophet, 1100 HP. He can only heal if your opponents cast spells, if I'm not mistaken. And there is no spells for the Beastmen, so he's not going to be healing anymore. Middle objective being held onto by the Beastmen, but the Blazing Beards of Basharak have arrived. I would imagine blasting charges will be going down soon on these Zangors and Ungors. It looks like they're a little bit caught up in combat, so maybe it's screwing with the AI. The Beastmen do have the back objective of the Chaos Dwarfs, but it looks like Hadri's is going to flip that one back here, as he does move some Chaos Dwarf Warriors over there, and a couple of tattered Beastmen units aren't going to be able to stop them, and also some Wolf Riders with bows to speed up that capture. Beastmen holding on to the middle, and honestly trading pretty well with a lot of the Chaos Dwarf troopers. Oglacon's boys getting smashed. Blazing Beards of Basharak looks like they're not using their blasting charges yet, and unfortunately they're going to eat a full Minotaur charge, which is not what they want. Minotaurs are so good at killing infantry, and are certainly one of the best units on the Beastmen roster. Minotaurs, I would say Razor Gores are like the most cost-effective unit, but Minotaurs certainly can be a big game changer as well. So the three little pigs over here running around, rampaging. Chaos Dwarf infantry really going to be starting to falter here on the ground as the initial wave of the Infernal Guards are being worn down. Beastmen also pressing the back objective. They have Razor Gores and Spears, which is a really nice combo. The Razor Gores will help chew through the Infernal Guard, and the Spearmen will fend off the cheap cavalry units, although I don't know why the Razor Gores are pulling back. Bray Shaman has been resummoned, which is going to be addressing the leadership issue for the Beastmen army, so you can see there's no penalty on these units right now if you take a look. Now that the Lord has been resummoned, not going to be as much of an issue. Beautiful burning head there, potentially by Hadri's, depending on how it rolls. Okay, that goes through. That's a pretty good one. Yeah, it does roast the leadership a lot of these units. Razor Gores resetting their charge bonus. So a little bit of a dreaded cycle charging as the Sorcerer Prophet does get nailed by a Traderkin, and it looks like he's going to be running off the battlefield. So objective 2 being held by the Beastmen for now. A little bit of pressure, but honestly, it looks like the Beastmen are just winning this game all of a sudden. Sorcerer Prophet's gone. Back objective is being held together by, by barely anything here, by some Elmer's glue. The Infernal Guard trying to fight it, but yeah, the Beastmen going to get some Zangors there, and with the Lord of the Chorfs running for the hills, I think that's going to be it, honestly. Like, looking around, I don't see a lot of staying power left for the Chaos Dwarfs. They're probably really wishing they had that Death Shrieker right now, just like blasting into the Minotaurs and whatnot. But Unsummons going down from Subutai, a little bit of housekeeping. Back objective still owned by the Chaos Dwarfs, but Beastmen can win pretty comfortably on just 2 objectives right now, so probably going to focus on that, maybe send one stalking cheap unit towards objective 3 through the woods. Would probably be like the MLG play. Chaos Dwarf Warriors fighting on the point. A Minotaur, so going to make very quick work of them. Back objective is basically just these Chad Infernal Guard being overwhelmed by a lot of giant pigs. Razor Gores are just so good, and they're going to be able to butcher through these guys. Absolutely no problem. So the fight rages on there. Yelling angrily is the Chaos Dwarfs, and that objective is going to flip in just a moment. Middle objective owned by the Bray Herd, but Hadri's does have the 2 points still. I mean, is he going to get... Is there some way he could weasel his way back where the Beastmen don't get the cap on this objective easily? I don't think that's going to happen with the Bray Shaman coming across. Although this entire army here is actually folding to the elite Chaos Dwarf infantry. That's crazy. Those Infernal Guard have gotten 1,000 value. They almost paid for themselves, which is pretty rad. Traderkin going down right here. Going to be nailing these Hobgoblins. Really nice cast. Ungor Spears have made it onto the point. And it looks like the Razor Gores are wavering, but probably will finish the job. I don't know. That's really, really close. Minotaur's going pretty bananas. Ungor Spear's heading for the back objective, although it looks like Hadri's. Does he have anything going back there? He does not. Using a lot of actual Chaos Dwarf infantry now, which is cool. I mean, we're still seeing the labor units, but they're not like just a broken, buggy capture weight now like they were. Certainly much more fun to watch, in my opinion. So Zangor is hustling back, trying to shut down Raiders, but going to be intercepted by the Chorfs here. I think Beastmen hold on at this point, though, despite the Chaos Dwarfs getting a little bit of cap weight here. I just think the Minotaurs, like, if used properly, can just crush most of these units very, very easily. So this objective is flipping. Beastmen going to be grabbing this one. And on the backside, the Beastmen did have some spears heading towards 3 over those spears hits, Ungors. But it looks like they're going to be rerouting to the middle to make sure they don't lose the capture weight on that, which is a smart idea. Obviously, most of the Beastmen units are very chaff-centric, and the Chaos Dwarfs are more elite. But Minotaurs don't really discriminate in terms of what they're pounding. They just hit hard. They can kill elite units. They can kill chaff units effectively. It basically is, you know, everything that you're looking for in that situation. So Minotaur's heading back and across, and we do have Razorgors going. Bray Shaman, this is going to be a huge onslaught of power. Even though a lot of it's very tattered, it's still just weight of numbers. And the Chaos Dwarfs are mainly rocking just these missile units right now. But as it currently stands, let's see. So if the forces of Hadri's reach 1250 before Subutai reaches 1000, then Hadri's could actually win on a single cap. Although I really don't think that's going to be possible. I mean, the Chaos Dwarfs barely have anything. And the fact that their Lord is gone is just such a problem. The backfield Hobgoblins circling about, trying to see if the Beastmen are going to leave objective number 1 undefended, but it looks like Subutai is going to have the foresight to leave it defended. Beastmen heading to the middle objective now, and the old Chaos Dwarf Warriors and the Hobgoblins probably going to get slapped by a Traderkin. Yeah, nasty. That Bray Shaman's probably gotten at least 1,500 value this game. Wow, 2,200, even better. Chaos Dwarf Warriors coming out. Actually, Infernal Guard, the more elite, but they're not going to be able to do a whole lot. They're going to head to the middle objective, and they're going to run into the old Minotaur Meat Grinder, as many of the other Chaos Dwarfs have. Razorgors have arrived on the back objective, but there's not going to be a whole lot that can stop them at this point. Hadri's would win on the 1 point here, but yeah, with Gors coming in, it's basically just Desperation Ends right now. Hobgoblins coming in, and the Bray Shaman and the Minotaurs will clear these out, and then they're going to head over here. But yeah, he needs to get this objective. Like, Hadri's can beat him on just 1 here. That would be an insane game if he managed to do that, but I really don't see how that's going to happen. 16-5 against 14-6. Bray Shaman's pretty healthy. Back objective being pressured a little bit. Well, that's actually pretty troll. Using the Hobgoblins to put a little bit of capture weight pressure on that is definitely putting some stress. Will the Beastmen have to respond and send something over there? They might need to, actually. That's a little bit dicey. Yeah, the Elite Infernal Guard have come back, and there's 25 of them, but 25 of them is enough to put a beat down on 38. Oh, those are 81. I had the wrong tooltip up for a second. But yeah, they'll put a bit of a beatdown on them with the Hobgoblin support for sure. So this back objective is in a little bit of danger just because of the resilient elite infantry there. Very scary stuff. Now here, Minotaurs bashing through these units. Back objective is currently owned by Chaos Dwarves, and they do have some Chaos Dwarf Warriors there. The points are going, and it's certainly speeding along. Minotaurs and Spears heading there. The Bray Shaman himself is an anti-infantry chariot with armor piercing, so he'll be pretty useful for dragging down the remnants of the Chaos Dwarfs here. But the back objective is where we need to focus all of our attention, but now the Beastmen using some of their new toys. The Vanguard deploy tanky, hard-hitting Zangor, which currently has 33% intensity, and so it has 7% more damage. Which is pretty cool from spells being cast by you and your opponents. But it's going to get there, and it's going to shut this down. So this back objective should be pretty safe. Subutai might have overreacted there a little bit by grabbing 2 units, but better safe than sorry. You never know if your opponent has any like Hobgoblin Stalkers or Chaff units coming in. That could be a little bit disruptive, right? And at the end of the day, Hadri's taps out. What an amazing game between those 2 players. Super fun, different Chaos Dwarf tech against like the Beastmen, who are just looking so much better this patch with their new toys and Zangors. It's super fun. And the Elite Infantry didn't do bad. I mean, paid for itself just about. They almost all paid for themselves. The Sorcerer Prophet hard carried. The Trains, I guess it got 1,100 value. That's really not bad. That was a really close game, and I loved every second of it. I do think a single Death Streak might be worth bringing just to put constant pressure on the Bray Shaman as well as the is this bad boy. So maybe in the opening build, you just cut one of these guys and 1 Laborer, and then you get a Death Streak. And I think the build's just that much stronger. Anyways, GG, well played. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. Great stuff from both players, and we'll see you all on the other side.